strategy. I'm gonna win.
And the trans said, "I'm a real boy."
Whoa! It's only right that we get canceled the last one.
This episode gets started.
What's up with being trans jokes lately, right, guys? What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new Cave Sports Football episode. Sadly, our last one for the season. But before we begin, I am your host, Proper, joined by Feel the Burn, Legit Naro, Francis, and special guest Chef again, Chef Boyardee. Before we begin, if you haven't already, please make your way to our website, K4V3.com/5P0RT5 to connect with us. And on our website, you can find a link to join our Discord channel. But in order to get on the Discord channel, you actually have to subscribe to our Patreon. So subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/K4V3, where you can subscribe for $1 a month and get a lot of benefits. So please consider subscribing to the Patreon. And also a special shout out to our sponsor, SafeLightCandle.com. Please visit their website so you can find all of your LED lighting needs. Whether it's for your home, office, or studio, SafeLightCandle.com has lights to suit your needs. So visit them now so you can stay lit for the low. Magic fingers, everybody. Okay. So like I said, this is our last sports episode. We had a great run. It was fun. But it's not the end. It's just for the season. So we got our beers here. We're all chilling. Raise them up. Cheers, everybody. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Super Bowl is here, and we didn't it didn't turn out as we initially expected. I mean, the Eagles not making it. It was actually a shocker. We get to talk about it because Francis, every time the Eagles lose, he was never here. So
yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it real quick.
Let's keep it positive, man.
Man, for Francis though, I feel for you. That's terrible luck for the Eagles to just be out of it because so much hope. But hey, now we're here. We got the 49ers against the Chiefs and or the Swifties, as I like to call them now, because that's all they are. But before we start covering the Super Bowl and start adding our preview, let's just go ahead and start recapping that conference championship weekend. Zach and Naro, I know you guys were heavy on watching it, so why don't you guys walk us through how the conference weekend played out?
I'll take AFC. You want? I'll start at least. Okay. I hated it. No, I'm playing. I think everyone was expecting the Ravens to come out on top, just because they've been super strong. And we were hoping that the Ravens didn't, I guess, pull like they have in prior seasons, where they've been looking like the favorite, and they pulled it again. They just looked uncomfortable on the offensive side. I think that's really where it came down to. Lamar was not. He was throwing the ball fine, but he wasn't doing Lamar things. When it was time for Lamar to run, he was trying to stay in the pocket and throw. I think they were trying to be a little too strict when it came to bunkering down on during the that game, and I think they kind of should have just let themselves be them. The Chiefs pulled away a win with Taylor showing up halfway through the game. Showed up and everything changed. You know what I mean? So, it's tough for Ravens fans. But the Chiefs did it again. I think that everybody was counting the Chiefs out. I 100,000% were counting the Chiefs out. Wild card weekend. That's not true. I thought I knew they were going to beat Miami. I was counting them out divisional round, but they stepped up. They kind of figured their glue out. The offense is gelling like it's supposed to now. They have a lot of playoff experience, so I guess that's really where it came down. They have a lot of playoff experience. They've been in the AFC Championship for the past 5 years. So. Chiefs fans, enjoy your time while it's here because we know that you guys were not existent for like 30 years.
Well, I mean, we could also say, and I know Chef can, because he's on the Sunday Night Secret Society podcast, so you guys should check that out. But Taylor Swift probably showed up halfway through so she could perform some witchcraft to help the Chiefs.
I'm telling you, she did. She is. She's involved. We'll get into that conspiracy stuff, but she is. She's involved in stuff.
Keep that shit away from Sunday.
That is so crazy because immediately, like, I'm new to doing like the sports thing. I'm new just in general within the last couple of months, and I was like, "This is a sports show, right? I'm not gonna. I'm just we're gonna talk about sports."
No. You could talk about that shit.
Oh, we got a little bit of conspiracies in here. You're good.
I'll wait. We'll wait. Naro said.
Oh shit! They muted you.
They muted you.
Oh,
Fucking
no.
Taylor Swift muted you.
They knew.
Mute this motherfucker.
Taylor said no.
You're still muted, bro.
Taylor took you on mute, man. We can't hear.
Yeah, can't hear your
My
voice.
soundboard, dude.
There you
My
go.
bad. My
Oh, there you go,
soundboard
there you go.
is jacked up, and it's not because I bought a cheap one. It's literally because of Taylor Swift. So thanks a fucking
The
lot.
Taylor Swift curse is real, everyone. It's in sports.
You.
It's
Oh,
not a Madden curse anyone's afraid of anymore. It's a Taylor curse.
Yeah, yes, it is. So, I mean, AC championship game was wild, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's
Ooh, that was such a big
that was so tough. I felt
game
like
changer.
there was a couple things that were just a little unorthodox in this game. This one, I felt like he made a correct decision. It wasn't the wrong decision, but the better decision would have been to hold on to the ball and just force your way in.
Yeah.
That would have been a decision. I knew what he was doing. It's a rookie thing. He was just pushing for it, and good for him. But he should have just held on to it and took the hit. Would have gotten at least the first down, and then they would have had a shot to put it in.
Mm-hmm.
That happened like 3 times this year too.
Oh, here comes the witch.
I'll get into some stuff later about it, but a lot of people talk about they don't like Taylor Swift being involved because they just don't want Taylor's fame and they're jealous of the fame and the fortune and blah, blah, blah. No, actually, it took me like weeks to figure out a solid argument of why we as NFL fans don't want Taylor involved. I got
Give it
one.
to us.
I'm not gonna do it now. It's like a minute video, but I'll make a video and I'll put it up. So all of you guys watching, watch out for this video. It's probably
Watch out on our TikTok.
TikTok.
Naro's going to be posting that heat for you guys on TikTok. But, yeah, man.
So I'll say this about that game. I had the Chiefs winning that game after they got past Buffalo because of mistakes like this. In the playoffs, the Chiefs don't do stuff like this. The last time they did was against the Bengals, and we saw what happened in that game. They're so confident in their offense and their procedures because they've been there before. They're very seasoned, where they don't reach for extra yards when it comes down to when you're this close to the end zone, because they know within the next 2 or 3 plays they're going to get it anyway. So they did a really good job of forcing the Ravens to not be the Ravens in this game. I talked about that earlier in the season with, and this is not to pile on you, Francis, but the Jets, when they beat the Eagles, the end of that game, that Eagles' offense was completely different than it was earlier in that game and from what they've done all season. And the good teams with their defenses find ways to force the opponent to have to try something new and continue to do that. Because they would jump in the passing lanes when Lamar was throwing and they'd swat it down. And he couldn't do that sidearm stuff. Granted, he was catching passes to himself. He caught that one pass.
That was a crazy play.
It was a broken tackle away from taking it to the house. So, the ball didn't bounce in the Ravens' favor, but when to their credit, they held the Chiefs to 0 points in the second half of that game. That's massive. And for me, that's what gives me a lot of confidence as a Niner fan on Sunday, is because it showed that the Chiefs can be contained. But these mistakes like this and the penalty that Zay had, I think earlier in this drive, actually, where he stood over the dude and then he pushed him off and then stood over him and spun the ball in his face. Those are the things that good teams don't do in the playoffs because they're disciplined and they don't let the opponent get free plays and free yards off of those mistakes. So it was a pretty clean game by the Chiefs, but yeah.
I hate that rule more than anything in the world.
What, taunting?
The taunting rule. This is the biggest bullshit rule in the entire
Yeah. It's like ticky-tacky calls.
It's 100% right. The rule's been out for, 2 years now. You should have known better.
I will say this
moment too, though.
From a sports betting angle too. I've been saying this all season. The house always wins. 70% of the bets were on the Ravens.
Yep.
So when I saw that pregame, I was like, I'm staying away from this one.
Yeah.
I didn't even bet the Ravens.
I put up a video about that before this game. That I felt like the Chiefs were going to win because everybody was betting because of the Super Bowl logo.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's been betting on the Ravens and the Niners to go.
Mm-hmm.
So the script changed so that Vegas can get their money back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Naro, it could literally be just a giant psyop, dude. Because if you think about the amount of people, like I know people that don't even dig into conspiracies at all.
Yeah, you boy.
They seen these Instagrams, these TikToks, and the amount of revenue that they've made off of that is insane.
Yep.
Good point.
I love it that Kyle's on here because he pointed out it's a psyop.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that is nice. I will say though, with this logo, red and blue make purple, and that was the NFC Championship game. So, I mean, still could have been in effect.
Everyone's reaching for it now.
That's a reach, dog.
I'm just saying. It's fun to talk about, dude.
Listen,
Yeah,
the NFL figured out that they can make money off of it just like the NBA did about 10 years ago. That's why the NBA's reffing has gotten so absolutely insane, and now the NFL is following behind it. It's because they know that they can. Listen, and a lot of people think that, and this is kind of off track a little bit, and I'll make it quick, but a lot of people think that in order to manipulate games, they have to have everybody involved and all the coaching staff, blah, 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 this and that. That's not. None of that stuff has to get involved. The players, I'm sure the players feel the same way as us. Like, they're not stupid, but they're not involved. I don't think that the coaches are involved. I think that some of the owners are involved, but it's mostly just the people on Rodgers' side of the house who can pay off the refs and manipulate things for the plays to go a certain way. Mm-hmm. Because the refs are the ones that control the game. If you guys look at it, there's a lot of missed calls that should have been made. There's a lot of calls that shouldn't be being made. The Niners had a couple of them, or the Chiefs had a couple of them during the AFC Championship game. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to have everybody involved. You just need the people who control it to be involved.
Let's just chill real quick on calling out the Chiefs for missed calls and calls that go their way, because they're pretty sensitive with that when you have owners and people calling out holding and shit from the last Super Bowl.
Look, there it is. The people in the power with Taylor Swift's people.
Hey, is that Mahomes over there in the left? Fucking alien.
Yes. All right, guys, we got to run off this AFC game. We've been on it.
All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get to NFC Championship for Feel the Burn over here, huh?
Hey, not gonna lie.
Not scared, huh?
They had us in the first half. That's why we played 4 quarters.
Zach, I asked you, live bet 49ers ? And you said no. I was like, man, I should have.
I didn't say no.
Bro, when I saw that, I was like, holy shit, could the Lions fucking win this?
I didn't say no. Hold on. I didn't say no. I said
you insinuated don't do it.
What did I say though? I did say something like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Man, what an exhilarating game that was. That was fun to watch.
This screenshot brought to you by a potato.
Yeah.
I'm just
gonna say, who would have thought beginning of the season we were gonna get Brock Purdy versus Jared Goff in the NFC Championship game, huh?
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
That
was great though.
So yeah, dude, Lions came out, absolutely punched us in the mouth. It was a little rough there. I'm gonna be honest, I was feeling a little down when it was 21-7, and then Lions had the ball, they were driving, and it was right before the half, and we held them to a field goal. And I remember thinking to myself, they held them to a field goal, we get the ball at half. Like, if we can get points coming out of the half and make this a 2-score game again, I think we're going to be in a good spot. And I would have liked a touchdown, but we ended up getting that field goal coming out of the half, which was good. It kind of canceled out, those 3 points that the Lions got at the end of the first half. So, and then the rest is history. You get a 4th down conversion failure by the Lions when they didn't have to. Didn't have to go for it. Good taking the points. And I'm honestly, we've briefly touched on it, but my connection with the Chargers, and Badgley is pretty cool. I actually ran into him at one of the games this year. I had to help escort the owner down to go see the Lions owner, and Badgley.
You were an escort?
He was in practice. He was in his practice suit. He wasn't even suited for the game. But that was a cool interaction. So I was thinking, like, in my head, I was like, oh man, if Badgley puts the nail in our coffin on this season, that's gonna be fucking crazy. It's gonna be so bittersweet. But they didn't put him out there, and I don't know if it's because of his accuracy, past 40, 45 yards is what spooked him, or it's just because that's who the Lions are. I like to think that's what got the Lions to that spot. So I didn't hate it, but obviously when you miss it, it's like, oh man, you should have taken the points. I know for Francis, for sports betting, Francis loved going for it, right?
Yeah, I was. There's a lot of memes on like sports betting accounts that like Dan Campbell is one of us because he just gambles but he's also like in that situation though, like it's playoffs. Like I know that risk taking gets you there, but you gotta take the points. Like if you take those 2 field goals, that's 6 points. Like who knows where this game would have been? Then you kick it off
the whole game.
Yeah, like there's no like a flip. There's a flip of the field instead. Like the Niners keep the ball at that spot, so they have good field position there, and it's crazy. It's just sometimes gambling gets you in tough spots.
Yeah, he is like he sticks to his guns and stuff, and to who he is, and that's like good for like the most part. But like you guys were saying, like he's done it a couple of times in the season where it's not paid off, and it almost cost them games, and I think it did cost them like one or 2 games. Right, where he's taken risks that he didn't need to take to kind of like mess up things for him. And like you were saying, it's the playoffs. It's a little bit different here. Like you have to just like get the bunker down and not make mistakes. Exactly like the Chiefs have been doing, just like Zach was saying. You have to bunker down and not make mistakes. You have to be. It's a smart play. This isn't gutsy play.
Yeah.
No, and it definitely, like, for me, I said this as soon as that game was over, and I started, obviously, doing the celebration when I was super stoked that we ended up winning that game. But I was thinking about, from the Lions' point of view, like, they're not going anywhere. Like, that team is good. They're coached well. I feel like they're going to learn from that and from those scenarios. I hope they don't, like, completely sway away from it, because it is what got them there. It's part of that swag. But in this game, it just caught him, and if they would have went for the field goals and missed, their fans would have been livid, because it's like, we've been going for 4 on 4th down all season. We've been going for 2 all season. Like,
you don't
why
really
are we switching it up? So it's one of those catch-22s. But everything changed when Ayuk got that ball off the face.
Bro, that was so lucky, man. That was crazy.
He catches that ball. We get down there. Purdy throws to Ayuk on 3rd down in that drive. And it's a 1-score game, and then boom, Jahmyr Gibbs fumble. We got the ball back, tie game. Like, in 12 minutes in that 3rd quarter, we went from down by 17 to tied. Just absolutely insane. 3 possessions, 17 points, tied up. Juwan Jennings, I think we had that picture of him making that insane 3rd down catch that helped him out. And then Brock sealing the game with his legs. That was awesome too. I hope that he's able to recognize that. That's going to be very useful against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. But I think Brock, that second half from Brock Purdy, I hope silenced a lot, or not even silenced, just quieted down the chatter on him. Because, whether you think he's elite or not, MVP, obviously, we'll get into MVP, but or not, like, he's had, like, the 2 things that people wanted to see going into the playoffs from Brock was him putting the team on his back and carrying the team to a victory and leading a comeback. And he did. And Keyshawn Johnson against the Packers said that wasn't really a comeback. Well, down by 17 at halftime, coming back and winning an NFC Championship game, that's a comeback.
Keyshawn's just hating, man. That was a comeback.
Yeah.
Because that first half, I really thought, like, I was like, holy shit, the Lions got the Niners. Like, I think this is it.
Everybody did. People were booking flights to Vegas and Detroit, dude.
Dude, I was whoa, freaking out.
Yeah, dude. So, like, not a comeback? Shut up.
Yeah, well, no, he was saying that about the Packer game. that
Oh,
was
okay,
really
okay.
a comeback.
Oh,
this
okay,
week.
okay.
People are spoiled by comebacks now because of what happened at the 2023 Super Bowl. They think that all comebacks are wild like that. That's not all what comebacks are.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah,
Kim
man,
Kardashian
90
had a
punch
nice
ticket.
comeback story.
Niners punch ticket,
Yeah.
another Super Bowl.
I love
Ray J,
that.
Ray J came
Damn
on
it,
her
I
back,
got a
right?
one. Is that a sex tape joke? Hey, he hit it first.
He hit it first. Yeah.
Damn.
Hey, give it like 6 months, dude. Maybe longer. We'll see if there's a proposal going on, but there's gonna be like a Swifty and Kelsey fucking.
Oh, guys, don't talk about it. They're talking about it at the Super Bowl. They've already talked about it.
That's real love.
Talking about how if the Chiefs win, there's going to be a proposal at the Super Bowl.
Oh no!
I'm talking about if the proposal goes down, there's going to be like a sex tape leak.
Oh,
And
Who's gonna want to watch that?
no one's going to want to watch
Shoot me the link when y'all get it.
very long back.
Drake.
Oh man, don't even get me started on Drake. Drake trending over Super Bowl weekend.
Drake
More like Super Dick weekend.
Like, just find a way to confuse. Don't worry about it. We'll get it.
Oh man.
Ah,
That's
Well,
hilarious.
yeah. So
what a good championship weekend. It definitely
it was a
That
good
was fun,
championship
right,
weekend.
guys?
It had the drama we needed to kind of. It wasn't like that. You know, I mean, we've seen how many conference championships where it was so one sided. I was like, all right, we're in. But this one was good because I mean, like what
Like
the
last year.
Ravens were super expected to go, but the Chiefs upset them, and then the 49ers, we thought they were done in the first half, like it was over, and here they come back, and like Zach said, Brock Purdy using his legs, sealing that game for him. Who would have thought? I mean, it was a great championship weekend in my opinion. I think we can all agree on that. So we have a great. I honestly think we have a good Super Bowl in front of us. That's this weekend. I'm pretty excited to see how that one turns out. But we'll get to our Super Bowl picks and predictions and all that. But today the NFL honors went down, and I know Naro was watching it. So Naro, I want you to kind of just walk us through those awards, and everyone just kind of chime in on who you think should have won it, or if that award was deserved.
Yeah, buddy. Michael Key was the host. It was he did a good job. It was really funny. He attacked the Panthers in the beginning of the show. I thought that was dumb. He literally said Taylor Swift's in Tokyo. The only thing farther from going to the Super Bowl than Taylor Swift is the Carolina Panthers. I was
Damn.
I was like, no, he didn't just do that.
I wish I watched it, but hey.
I was like, dude,
Shots.
not Roger Goodell in a magic trick, and he was not happy. I thought that was funny. Oh, man, also looked like he was on something, but we'll look into that later. All right, it was good. A lot of it was kind of like an all around honors. Some awards where people didn't really expect to get them, and some were kind of obvious. Offensive Player of the Year, I think that was well deserved from Christian McCaffrey. Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
He did have a tough fight against him though with Tyreek. It was definitely good, and I think Dak would have made it good. A fight for it as well because he was also in that category. He was in the MVP in that category, whatever. Because Dak had a really good year. But yeah, good for Christian McCaffrey. The Niners got a couple of awards, so good for you, Zach.
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, it was
McCaffrey Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, brother.
Defensive Player of the Year. I'm very against this. So Myles Garrett definitely is an amazing defensive player. He is a all-star elite athlete and attempted murder. I mean, all-star elite athlete. So I will never knock that. I will never knock that. TJ's just on a different planet. He's just that much better. My personal opinion, and not that I'm a Steelers fan. Obviously, everyone knows I am. But not just because I'm a Steelers fan, but if you look at it, everything points to TJ winning the Defensive Player of the Year. This is my opinion. This is the second time he's got snubbed. He should have won against Aaron Donald 4 years ago. I'll let that one slide. This one was baffling. Because everybody talks about stats. the stats weren't even kind of close.
Yeah. But I think this was just hey, sorry we had to drug test you so much. Here's your award.
We're sorry for all the shit we put you
because
through.
then Myles Garrett gets so many random drug tests.
I think it was right after everything too.
Yeah, so I was like, hey, sorry we had to random drug test you every fucking game. So here's your award.
I personally think the Browns, you're guys are going to see some more coming up. The Browns got a couple of other awards. I think that they were just giving the awards out to the Browns this year. I'm not knocking any of the people who won the awards. I just feel like there were people in that category who would have done better. But that's my opinion on this one. Anyone else got an opinion on the Key Player of the Year?
This is such a random award for fucking Joe. I did not expect him to get this. I thought Jared Goff would get this shit.
I thought it would have been Jared Goff, DeMar Hamlin.
I thought Hamlin was going to get it.
DeMar Hamlin,
I get it. I get that part, right? But the man literally died on a football field and decided that he was going to come back and play again.
Well, a lot of conspiracy theorists would have to disagree with you and tell him that's a body double.
Yep. The tattoos aren't there, man. The tattoos aren't there.
There we go.
Yes.
Put him on game, Kyle. Just put him on game real quick.
This is not sponsored by Pfizer, okay? Not sponsored by Pfizer.
Oh, Travis Kelce, Mr. Pfizer.
Yeah, so Joe Flacco, good for him. Comeback Player of the Year. There were some other people in that category that I think could have definitely gotten it as well. Throwing 9 interceptions and throwing an interception to lose the season, whatever. I don't know about you, but he did do a good job. He got the Browns to the playoffs and Kevin Stefanski as well. Playoffs.
Playoffs?
Kevin Stefanski is the coach of the year.
It's okay.
I get it. He had to run through 5 different starting quarterbacks this year, and somehow they still came out. But that was just because their defense is really good.
Yeah, but I think that should have gone to Campbell.
I think he should have gone to Campbell too. I feel like everyone felt that Campbell was the win. He should have gotten that. The Lions did way better than anybody expected this year.
Hell yeah.
Decent season last year, and this year they had fantastic season. He did a really good job, and so that was my personal pick. But AP says otherwise.
Yeah.
I know Zach had an argument for his man over there.
All right, Stroud boys.
So, yeah, let's go back to that Coach of the Year slide. But then I want to get into the Stroud boys.
Stroud boys.
Man, that felt really good. All right, so here's my thing with Coach of the Year, and also MVP. If you have all this talk about Purdy, right, and if he's not the MVP, okay, then you have to give credit somewhere else on the Niners, right?
Okay.
So then that, to me, by default, is either you're going to give McCaffrey the MVP, or you're going to give Shanahan Coach of the Year. Because by the logic of it, if you're gonna give the number one offense in football, usually that's where the MVP usually comes from, right?
It's a quarterback, but yeah. I
mean, so it's either Brock or McCaffrey, which, spoiler alert, neither of them won. But then Shanahan is the one that's behind all the success. And so how do you not give it to Shanahan? I get Stefanski what he did with Cleveland, obviously has two other award winners here. Got to the playoffs, lost to the offensive rookie of the year. But he turned that whole franchise around. I think Schwartz has a lot to do with that. And I think Schwartz did win assistant coach of the year. So kudos to him because he deserved that. Because that team, obviously handed Niners their first loss this season. So they were definitely the most improved. But for me, it's if everyone's going to be downplaying Purdy, and then you're not going to pivot and say that McCaffrey's the reason. If you're going to say McCaffrey's the reason why the offense is so good and why Purdy's so good, then he's the MVP. And if neither of them are MVPs, then you got to give Coach of the Year to Shanahan. Just by logic, That's how I feel about it. But
your argument makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no,
yes, it makes a lot of sense. But I think what they've been doing with this Coach of the Year award, because this happened with Tomlin a couple of years ago with the whole Ben Roethlisberger being out type deal. I think the way they've been going with this award lately is it's been a team that's faced a lot of adversity and still been able to come through. That's their logic behind it, which I understand. But that's why I feel like that the Lions should have. That's why I feel like Dan Campbell should have had that. Because he wrecked the whole year after the Lions.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Lions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I
Had
agree
a
with you when you
0-win
said it.
season.
Yeah, on our pre-show little thing that we had. I mean, D'Amico Ryans, like,
or D'Amico Ryan, bro.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good
spoiler alert, we're gonna see the freaking rookie of the years.
Mhm.
But like
He rookie coach of the year for sure, but definitely coach of the year. Turning the Texans around like that after them dying after the whole Deshaun Watson thing, like
they won the division too.
they won the division and they were putting the works on people. Like it wasn't like when in the beginning of the year the Texans beat the Steelers and I was like, damn, bro, we lost to the Texans. And then as the season went on, I was like, okay, we lost to the Texans.
Yeah. It's just the Texans, they get a happy ending like Deshaun Watson usually does. So,
Hey,
but just touching on Stefanski real quick. I mean, coach of the year, cool. I mean, the Browns have been the shittiest team for how long, right? I mean, but next year, what's Stefanski's success? I just don't see them. I think Browns are just going to be whatever again next year. So
depends on Schwartz.
Watson's the truth, like everyone says that he is. I don't. He is not. He had three good seasons in Houston. I don't think Deshaun Watson is that guy. I think they need to. Look, they paid him all that money. Let him stay. Whatever.
That's true. Well, I think we gave Stefanski enough airtime, so let's go ahead and move on to the Stroud boys.
All right, I'm gonna let you take this one, Zach. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Zach's.
Oh man! So I went back and I watched a little bit of our preview episode and our draft episode, and said it a few times on this show. Stroud to me was the best quarterback in this draft class, and he has the award now to back that up. Dude, I mean, like we just said, talking about D'Amico, like obviously Stroud's a big reason to do with that too. Like he led that team and was the quarterback of that team and accomplished incredible things. I think people were talking about him being like number one or up there with number one fantasy keepers at the quarterback position in 1 year, like for dynasty leagues, like over, all the usual suspects, Allen, Mahomes, Herbert, Lamar, Hurts, like just from his play this year and how they did. And they ended up getting the 4 seed, won the division, which everyone, I'm pretty sure, unanimously had. I think we did, Francis. We had Jacksonville winning that division.
Yep.
Like no question. I think we sped through that division. And dude, like, it's just
breaks off the Browns.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, and
destroyed them.
Of the game, they were in the beginning of the divisional round. They were giving the Ravens a run for their money.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, that first half was close. And we laugh at some of the ridiculous shit I say on this pod and on this show with my predictions. Hashtag Giants did not win the East.
Dude, I
was so confident about that.
Super confident, like the Giants are gonna be.
I was so confident about that. So yeah, shout out to CJ Stroud for validating that.
Tommy did you guys see Tommy got the celebration of the year?
Who did?
I didn't even know.
Tommy DeVito.
Wait, there's a celebration of the year?
I think they just made it up for him.
So the Giants won something.
But the Giants won something. His celebration of the year was really
and with the gabagool.
Gabagool. They
boppity boopy.
They reenacted the fellas during it. It was pretty funny.
Oh,
clown, I amuse you.
You got to do this whole show with your Italian accent now, Naro. So,
I mean, I can do the rest of the show if you want. All right, next up. Okay, so offensive rookie of the year was fantastic.
There we go.
Rookie of the year, we're gonna go back down south to Houston. Go for the Texans. Ryan, Anderson Jr. You know what? Gabagool.
Gabagool.
How's your mother? Surprise, surprise.
Say hello to your mother for me.
Good. And we were just talking about him, and we're kind of just getting into this. And if you want to touch on the next two slides too, those two. They killed it, man. They the Texans really jumped out defensive rookie of the year. This one was a little bit of a harder category, I feel personally, for it to be judged. It was a lot closer in this category than I feel like some of the other categories where you know that there was like a definite winner. Because you got old boy from the Cowboys who set a record for pick sixes this year.
Jalen Carter from the Eagles was nice.
Jalen Carter did absolutely fantastic.
There we go.
Joey Porter Jr. did really is just an absolute clamp as a corner. Like it was a
really, from the Lions too.
Oh yeah. What's his name? It was a really good job from all around from the. I mean, this was a really good rookie class overall.
Yes.
Like we've had some bust rookie classes, even with Young and Richardson. And hopefully Richardson gets back to health. But even with Young, I feel like Young didn't do a terrible job. He just didn't have the right sets around him, right?
Will Levis did good too.
What?
Yeah. Will Levis.
Yeah. Puka.
So it wasn't like it was a really good Puka. The freaking man, dude. Yeah. I don't think he got snubbed for offensive rookie of the year because or definitely goes to CJ Stroud. Yeah. But for him to break both rookie receiving records, the catch records and the yard records, that's freaking insane, dude. And I know it kind of like sucks when we talk about like people getting hurt and stuff like that, but none of that would have happened if Kupp was healthy.
No.
If Kupp was healthy, none of that would happen because they wouldn't have. Hear me out. They had to find someone to replace Kupp for the time being.
Exactly.
And Nakua stepped up.
Yeah, because Nakua only came in because Kupp was out.
Without that, they wouldn't have relied on Puka as much. So they wouldn't have been able to see that maybe until later in the season.
If Kupp was there those first 5 games, it would be harder for Nakua to get those yards and catches. Yeah,
it would be harder for him to have that opportunity for sure. Yeah, so it was kind of like that silver lining in that Cooper Kupp injury, right?
Yeah. Good. I mean,
both top 5 picks. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do when you get 2 top 5 picks. Like you're supposed to produce this.
This organization did the right thing this year. They brought in the right people. They made the right decisions. This is a young team, and it is going to go far.
This is the same team, the same franchise that had Deshaun Watson as like the next big thing. Said, nope, you're out of here. Sent him to Cleveland. Brought in Casario from New England to come in and take over because there was no room for him to progress. And now you look at New England and it's like, oh man, imagine if he would have stayed there.
Yeah, right.
They bring in D'Amico, which shout out. Like I just saw something the other day that said like owners are frustrated with how many compensatory picks that the Niners get from their coaches signing elsewhere. It's like, look, this is why. Like we're losing good staffers. Stop hiring our coaches then. Like I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, shout out to Houston and Stroud here with this graphic. That's a pretty solid list there.
Insane.
That is Ohio a good list.
State, 2016, 2017, 2019, 2020.
Brothers on there. Yeah.
2023.
Show this shit to Danny because he believes every Ohio State fucking player sucks.
Is he really?
Yeah. Danny.
Abra.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's why he's not on the show.
Like
2 Niners on there.
Like Ohio State may not be like when it comes to football, they're obviously competitive every year, but they just they can't finish as well. But they produce players, man. Ohio State produces players.
Yep.
Yes, they do. It's a factory over there.
Rest in peace, guys. Anyway.
What else we got?
there you go,
Man of the Year.
Man of the Year.
This is all yours, Cameron Hayward.
Dude, good for Cam, man. I mean, he's been nominated 6 times for this award. 6 times, bro. And he finally got it. Good for Cam. He didn't. I think he said he's not going to retire this year. He's gonna. I think he's got maybe a year, 2 years left in him. I think he's more of a role model guy. But finally, man, the guy gets to wear the Walter Payton Man of the Year award jersey. Good for him. He's got he has under his Hayward House umbrella, he's got 12 organizations of all different types of nonprofits under one.
Also for money laundering.
I was actually just thinking about that earlier today. I was like, damn, there's got to be a way. But I don't think that everyone's in there for that. I don't think that he's involved in there for that. But you're 100% right. They definitely do that. That's why they push it so much. That's why the NFL pushes it so much.
Non-profit is profit.
But hey, good for Cam. Steelers also got 2 other small awards: Angry Run of the Year, and most sacks on the season. We'll get into that later. But good for Cam Hayward, man. That's awesome. There it is.
Okay, hold on. Before we start on this, MVP, right? But he had stats identical to fucking Josh Allen, which was fucking crazy to me.
Josh Allen had a decent year too, other than his interception issue that he has. Josh Allen is just set a record this year for first quarterback to get a certain amount of running and throwing touchdowns or some crazy something like that in a 3-4 year span. When we get into the MVP talk, I feel like this award, personally, I feel like it doesn't necessarily go out to the statistic side because we've seen in the past it hasn't.
It's popularity.
I don't think that either. I feel like that the MVP award, I feel like that the picks are definitely on a popularity level, but I think what they do after that is they take who is more of a influential role on that team. I think is where they look at it. Because Brock Purdy had a great year and had great numbers, but not saying that he's not the most influential role on that. Not saying that he's not an influential role on his team, but I wouldn't say he's the most. Obviously, McCaffrey makes a big difference. Obviously, there's a lot of receivers that make a big difference. The Niners have a full squad that's solid, right? Who else was up for it? Dak solid team. The Ravens had a decent team, but I don't feel like without Lamar being there specifically, that team would not have gone as far without him being at the helm. Because Zay Flowers is good. He is. He's a really good receiver. And Mark Andrews is obviously a solid tight end. But other than that, who are their weapons? They don't have running backs. Their running backs are mediocre. They have their second
OBJ's whatever now.
Receiver is OBJ, who's washed up.
Well, OBJ is also washed up. He's also banging another washed up girl, Kim Kardashian.
That is too many Kim Kardashian references on the show, dude. Dang. We definitely hit our quota for the year.
I know what Papa watched before the show.
Yes, I did.
That's just my opinion on it.
I feel like the MVP usually goes to the quarterback on the best team during the regular season, which
it always does.
Which is the Ravens this year. So,
right.
I mean, during the regular season, they probably if the Niners beat the Ravens in the regular season, I think it would have went to Brock Purdy. But since
that's so crazy to say.
Well, that's who won MVP last year. It wasn't.
It doesn't even make sense. Because he had one bad game, he doesn't get MVP.
Jalen Hurts wasn't the MVP runner, and he was the best quarterback last year. Who won last year?
Oh,
Mahomes did.
Mahomes was MVP.
Mahomes won.
Yeah, he was definitely not the best quarterback of the best team because the Chiefs were the same as we talked about it this year. No one thought the Chiefs did mediocre last year compared to what they do. So obviously, winning the Super Bowl is a bit different, but. I understand what you're saying. I don't think so. Lamar Jackson, out of everyone in that category, maybe Christian McCaffrey, but again, it's hard because I feel like I understand where you're coming from, Zach, with the Niners, but it's really hard to differentiate those guys because of how many big fucking, excuse my language, big players are on that offense. Your offense is stacked. It is the most stacked offense in the league. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It is. It's the most stacked offense in the league. So it's hard to say that, hey, this guy was more influential than this guy on that roster.
Fair. It's a fair point.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah.
But I will counter that with. Actually, I can't really counter that because Ayuk wasn't on the team, Trent Williams wasn't on the team, and McCaffrey wasn't on the team when Garoppolo was there. Because it's the same offense, but different pieces. Mm-hmm. And Purdy clears Garoppolo when it comes to quarterback play for that.
I do believe that. I don't, and that's not a knock on like Brock Purdy at all. I think that Brock Purdy is a good quarterback. I really do. I don't believe any of the people who talk about how he's not like Cam saying that he's the 10th best person on his team, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't believe that at all. Brock Purdy is an essential part of that team, but it's really hard to separate it with so many big guys on that team.
Yeah, he's not a superstar quarterback. So.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially when another one of his pieces is also nominated for MVP.
MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, they both did win players. They kind of made up for it a little bit. The air player of the year and the ground player of the year both went to both of them.
Yeah.
I get you.
I mean, Brock Purdy's a great quarterback, like you said. I agree with that. But I also think he's a complimentary quarterback for the 49ers with everything they have there. I mean, sure, they could have a superstar quarterback on that team, but, you know, he works for that system. And so that's why he flourishes in that system. So, yeah. I'm not sure what else awards there were. So were there any more awards?
Real quick. I'll run them real quick. Real quick. I don't even think you have a fix for it. So, after all the main awards, we get into TJ Watt with the Deacon Jones Award, which goes to the most sacks of the year. Won like the past 5 years in a row. Brock Purdy was the Air Player of the Year. Joe Cardona is the Salute to Service. Bobby Wagner was the Art Rooney something Player of the Year. CeeDee Lamb had the best NFL play of the year. Jim Schwartz, assistant coach of the year. There's another one. And then C-Mac was the ground player of the year. And then there's another category that they just started this year. It's not like a huge thing, but it's the angry run of the year because of that one guy who's got a segment on the
Kyle Brandt.
Right.
Yeah, where he runs his angry run every week. So I think this is the second year that they've done it. And Najee Harris won that one because he beat the hell out of the Seahawks.
You know what I think they should add to these awards? Bust of the year.
Oh, that'd be so wrong. They can't do
that'd be funny as hell. And I think we all agree. We don't need to say it, but I think we all know who probably would get that award. What team would get that award?
Yeah. Don't start it. Don't start it.
Oh shit! Oh man.
So
the
come
Cowboys.
On, man.
I'm just kidding. No, because we also had that one coming. That's not.
Yeah.
Let's add that to it. So we were talking about doing this next year, doing our own picks, right? We could add that to our picks next year. Shoot, bust of the year. We can all add that to
our for fun. The Cave Sports Bust of the Year. There we go. That'd
be brought to you by Ray J.
Bust a nut of the year.
Sorry, I just feel like that's where you were going there, Jermaine.
You took the words right out of my mouth. So yes, I was going with the Ray J. Busted Nut of the Year. So
God damn. We over-uploaded on this right now.
This is fun when we're drinking. We're just fucking letting loose. Anyways, yeah. So with all the NFL honors out of the way, it's time for what we're all waiting for. I mean, it's coming Sunday. Zach, I know you can't wait, but let's go ahead and let's get this Super Bowl preview. Zach, come on, walk us through this preview. This is your stage right here. You got the background going on. You fucking ready? Let's go.
I am ready. I've been ready since the third quarter of the NFC Championship game when the Niners tied it up, and I was like, all right, here we go, boys. So, instant thought after the NFC Championship game was done, because we already knew the Chiefs was in there, was there's too much hate going on with the Super Bowl. I found myself in a weird spot where I was like, I'm big on I hate rematches. I hate seeing the same thing again. But the only difference is when it's my team. So that's what got me out of that funk. These are two completely different teams than when they met 4 years ago.
Oh yeah,
3 years ago.
100%.
like I just mentioned, the Niners. I was gonna say how it's the same offense. So Purdy doing what he's doing with the same offense. Then what Garoppolo did was a big deal, but the pieces are different. You got McCaffrey in there. You got Trent Williams in there. You still got Kittle there. Ayuk is in there. The defense is different. Sherman's not there. Ward's in there. Nick Bosa.
I think Debo was there last time, was he?
Debo was there. Debo was a rookie.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah. That's right.
They had Mostert there. Mostert was on the team.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Nick Bosa was a rookie. There's an iconic, not iconic, but this very viral thing that's going around with Kittle, where he was sitting there looking at the scoreboard at the end of the game and was like, "I will be back here. Now we'll be back here with a vengeance." Then you get into this stuff right here, like this graphic of, at least from the Niners side, McCaffrey, Shanahan, Copeland, and Greasy. Those names were all on, the Broncos together. But now you got the two kids in Shanahan and McCaffrey with the two players that were on that team.
Wow.
They're all reunited right here for the Super Bowl, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's why Broncos 2.0.
There's some pretty crazy story, family connections. I think there was something big that happened today in wrestling with the bloodline. The bloodline right here too in the NFL is alive and well.
Let's do this for Jerezy behind the scenes real quick.
Yeah. Man, so once you get into the storylines, obviously, I know we've been talking about it all season. We love talking about it in the cave. Taylor Swift's got a huge presence in this game. Who's apparently a huge presence in the game, in the AFC Championship game. Whatever you think about her, I still say, and I stand firm on it, she's good for football. The eyeballs that have been attracted to the game in this season. Obviously, my daughter's not old enough, but seeing other dads talk about how their wives and their daughters are now watching and they're talking about this stuff, that's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. And they don't even show her that much. They only show her for 40 seconds on the TV broadcast.
Yeah, about every time fucking Kelsey gets a catch.
That's a 40
seconds for that.
It's 40 seconds. What do you got now?
Okay, that's fine. They only show her for a certain amount of time, a total of 2 minutes for the whole season or something like that, right?
33 seconds.
How many times do they show other players' significant others after they've done that?
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're not as famous as Taylor Swift.
That's my point, though. That's my point. They don't even show other celebrities that much.
Well, I mean, they don't show Sierra, which is true. I mean, Sierra, Russell Wilson, they don't really. But I'm like,
right? And I'm not against celebrities being involved in the sport at all. I'm not. Okay. But I hate when they take over a sport that they're not even involved in.
Shea Jackson. Okay.
Okay. Years ago with Toronto, and Drake was all involved in the freaking the finals.
Yeah.
I was so irritated with that. Go away. We're not. This is not about you.
And he airballed a 3-pointer.
I mean, Drake's pretty popular. It's still today.
Zach, I understand what you're saying, where it brings people into the sport. I get that. I don't. Because, yes, I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are actually liking the sport now, and they're not just watching it for Taylor. They're actually liking the sport. But that's a small handful, dude. It really is. When you think about it, it's a small handful. Most of those Swifties are not – they don't care about any of that. I guarantee you, when Taylor and Kelsey break up, they're not coming.
When?
Yeah, when? Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude.
Hey, you know what? When they televise the Kelsey and Swift wedding, Zach's gonna be fucking watching that shit. I already know it.
If this gets me invited,
there's gonna be a Hulu special.
Yeah.
I'm down.
It's definitely a money grab for the NFL too, because Taylor Swift herself has the same amount of fans as a rounded number as the NFL. That's crazy, right? So they're not going to miss their chance to have all of those people tune in for the Super Bowl. This will be the most watched Super Bowl in history.
Right.
But I've already seen and talked to a lot of people where they are not watching this game. A lot of people are not watching this game.
Super Bowl preview turned into a Taylor Swift rant. Hold on, give a second. You know what's also annoying though? The whole Travis Kelce, like he's getting all, and they're calling the fade, which I've been getting for the longest time since I can remember. I know France has been getting the haircut fade. You know, they're now saying, have you seen these fucking articles saying that people now want the Travis Kelce haircut? And they're crediting him with the fade. They're saying he came up with it. And then the funniest comments I saw, I was like, come on, man. You're really going to take away the fade from black people on Black History Month?
Wow.
Bro, the best fade I ever got the first time was from a black barber. So that's wild that they're giving Travis Kelce.
They're saying he invented the fade. And then there was on the news, they're saying everyone across the world. I talked to barber. Like, I'll pull up the video. I'll send it to the group. But this guy was saying on the news that barbershops are completely flooded now with people asking for the Kelce fade.
Bruh.
Shut the fuck up.
Sounds like Travis Kelce and his relationship with Taylor Swift is good for small businesses.
Oh, yeah, Zena LeVay. But the thing is, Zena LeVay is still alive, so
never seen her in my life.
Kyle, chime in. Come on, chime in on this one.
Yeah, man. So the slide prior, that was up with all the kind of coincidental dates. Right there. I mean, okay. Oh no, yeah, let's go.
Okay, so Taylor was born on the 13th of December.
Oh god,
that's my dad's birthday.
She turned 13 on Friday the 13th.
Oh,
her first album went gold in the U.S. in 13 weeks.
Yep.
She just won her 13th Grammy, and she announced her new album entitled 13.
Yep.
It's Super Bowl 58, 5 plus 8, 13. She's been to 12 Chiefs games this year. The Super Bowl will be her 13th. Niners are the 1 seed. Chiefs are the 3 seed. Chiefs are playing the 49ers. 4 plus 9 is 13. It's on February 11th. 2 plus 11 is 13.
Yeah, the Tokyo flight.
If you subtract 13% from 100%, it leaves 87. 87 is Travis Kelce's number. So they complete each other. The quarterback of the Niners is number 13.
Oh, they're stretching.
Hats on, everyone.
Like, that should be
hold on. She's flying from Tokyo to Vegas, which is a 12.5-hour flight, but with customs rounds up to 13.
Customs in 30 minutes? Yeah, fucking right.
Taylor Swift can get
Taylor Swift. Yeah. And her favorite movie is 13 Ghosts.
Hey, yo, I'm about to bet that Kelce gets fucking 13 catches in the Super Bowl.
Dog.
He gets 13 touchdowns.
130 yards.
You see 13 on the Super Bowl, like on these prop bets. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to take those, I guess.
Yeah.
But is that not, though? Is that not, just to touch on this just for a second, is that not like
weird?
A little.
Is that not just a little tiny weird? Like, I try to use the most discernment as possible, and I'm a conspiracy theorist, truther, whatever you want to call me.
We're not conspiracy we're alternate thinkers.
There you go. There we go. And I try not to, I try not to jump the gun on things, and I still do it. And I'm like, fuck, dude, there's aliens everywhere at Miami. But right, with something like this, and I later retracted or redacted that statement, but when it comes to things like this is just really, really, really odd. That's
weird.
The amount of 13s, and you really don't have to do a bunch of like division. I think there was one that Zach had mentioned at the end. If you take 13% out of 100, you're left with 87, right? I think that's the most complicated. Math, you know what I mean? Like,
the biggest
this isn't Common Core here, you know what I mean? It's pretty plain and simple, a little bit weird. And then you got like Taylor Swift also was kind of brought up by Tim McGraw from her song Tim McGraw, and then Tim McGraw just passed away a few days ago. I don't know. That one doesn't have like a that I found like a number association, and I'm not super huge into gematria. I don't. It's not that I don't agree with it. I just don't know enough about it to really speak on it. But anyhow, end of the day, my vote will be that's very, very, very odd. Very odd.
It is very odd. Very. You could argue coincidental, but it's just fun to talk about.
It
yeah,
is.
I mean, it gets the people going, right? I mean, Taylor Swift's doing a lot of things. She's making people mad about football. She's making people look at conspiracy theories.
I just think it's pretty funny though that like it was heavily rumored.
There it is.
It was heavily rumored and highly sought after that they wanted her for this halftime show, and she turned him down. So they went to Usher, and she's still going to be there anyway. Like that's hilarious to me.
Isn't that great?
Or Usher is ushering in something new. He's gonna come usher in some, I don't know.
He's gonna walk out in the middle of the damn halftime show. That's it. I'm not doing it.
He's got 2 extra minutes this year.
Listen, I'm gonna look like that crazy alien guy right here. Okay, real quick.
Alien.
Walks down in the middle of the freaking halftime show, and she does a freaking performance. I will turn it off. Aliens, man.
You know, you just look like Wolverine's crack addict cousin. So
Hugh Jackman will be proud. He would be proud. Just saying.
Listen, if the Niners do it, they will do a 2-peat. Okay, so they're not the Niners.
2-peat.
If the Chiefs get it, they'll get a 2-peat.
Well, they'll get their third in 4 years.
Yeah, but it'll be a 2-peat.
You mean a repeat?
It's now a 2-peat.
That's a callback, baby.
Oh, that's
Whoa.
fucking cute. That's real fucking cute.
Usher and Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X. It was apparently what he's
Super
trying to
cute.
convey with his.
I don't realize he was that tall.
Look at he's got the 2 in the pink and 1 in the stink down there on that right arm, that bottom right arm. Yeah, come on.
Both of them were banged by P. Diddy. So
Oh boy, that's how we get canceled.
Who that is?
Kyle.
Who
Kyle
that
Shanahan
is?
on the bus.
Dude, the Niners, good for the Niners organization, by the way. They're flying
him
them out. The entire organization is going to the Super Bowl, bro.
Wow.
All full-time staff and full-time interns. Yes,
That's
Awesome.
And they all get rings too if they win. So
I'm pretty
is a
sure
cool part.
Jed York will buy them rings. Yeah.
yeah.
Is that so? Sorry for the interruption. I don't know this answer. So, do different teams, as far as like if you win the Super Bowl, does it depend on the organization if everybody gets a ring? I'm talking like the janitors, the staff. It does depend on. Wow. Okay.
if you go that deep, yes. There's a set amount of rings that they give out to the regular staff, but if you're getting in like super deep, then it's up to the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And don't feel free or don't be afraid to chime in here, Francis. But I'm pretty sure with the Eagles, that ownership group like straight up bought all the rings
Yep.
for all the
They did.
staff.
Yeah, security. Everybody, dude. I don't think they went as deep as like the concession stand people, but like
Imagine that.
but everyone associated that is paid by the Eagles.
Yeah, on the payroll, right?
On the payroll,
Yeah.
no matter if part time, full time, they got a ring.
Imagine
I
getting
think-
a ring and all you did was throw popcorn in the stands. Like, popcorn.
Scrubbing toilets in the
That's how they
sugar.
found their new quarterback. Fucking Jalen Hurts ain't doing it. Get that
So-
popcorn guy.
the most common thing that I know that I've heard is that the rings get offered to employees, and for the most part, they just have to pay the taxes on the face value of the ring.
Okay.
Yeah, so still expensive, but not as expensive.
Yeah, but just to say, I don't know. I think that if the Eagles do that and or have been doing that, I think that is like hats off to that organization because, the Cowboys haven't won a Super Bowl in God knows how long. So I don't know if and
Pepperidge
this
Farms
is
remembers.
But like, I think that's necessary, man. I think that's necessary, and I think that's necessary on many levels. Like when you're walking around your big complex and your big stadium and this organization that you run, and you should be treating that janitor with the exact same respect that you would treat anybody else because everyone's part matters.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So anyhow, hats off to that.
It builds culture
Yes, sir.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
That's how it should
man.
be.
Fucking
Panthers ain't doing that, that's for sure.
Yikes! Dragging the Panthers. Collateral damage. So I wanted to bring up Hufanga on this. I would be infinitely confident with the slide right here if we had Hufanga on Sunday. I think when he went out this season, when we lost him for the year, that's when the defensive numbers started to change. And now, like, for me, my biggest concern is the defense. Like, that's, to me, the key on Sunday, like, the one word I think of is defense, both for the Chiefs and the Niners. Can the Niners defense step up and contain the Chiefs? Can the Chiefs defense slow down the Niners offense? Shout out Hufanga, though. I wish we had him on Sunday.
I think I like this Super Bowl. To me, this is a Raisin Bran Super Bowl. I'm kind of bored with it already. But
Raisin Bran Crunch or just Raisin Bran, like, flat out?
Crunch gives it flavor. I don't like it.
Raisin Bran's delicious.
No. I mean, so I like that this Super Bowl, there's not, like, these aren't super teams going into the Super Bowl like we've had a lot this in the 2000s. There's no super teams coming into this. The Niners, I guess, would be the super team, but they have a weakness, and their weakness is their defense. They've been giving up points that maybe they shouldn't be having to come from behind a lot lately, right? And the Chiefs are not a super team by they're just a really good playoff team. But the Chiefs by far are not, their offense is not what it used to be, right? They rely a lot more on their defense. So I like that this is going to be a non-super team, like a non-crazy good team Super Bowl. Like, this whole year has been like that, where there's not one team that's like, oh, yeah, they're all fucking bashed. I mean, we thought it was the Eagles, but...
I mean, as evidenced by my pick every week of who the best team in the NFL was, it constantly changed.
It did.
Look at this. 49ers practice facility. They had the shittiest practice conditions, apparently. So, but I feel like that's just giving more fuel to 49ers to fucking whoop on the Chiefs' asses. So, I'm personally going for the Niners just because Broncos' heritage there.
If you talk to the Chiefs fans, they're obviously 49ers or 40 whiners in full effect complaining about this. But so what happened was the Chiefs were granted use of the Raiders facilities, and the Raiders facilities are indoors, and like super nice, brand new state of the art. And the Niners got stuck with
UNLV. That's right.
Yeah, and UNLV outdoor with turf, and so to simulate what kind of field condition they were going to be using for the Super Bowl and what they're used to practicing on, the NFL tried to put real grass on top of the turf. Try and simulate like having a better field and avoid, because I guess it was comparable to MetLife and like how that happens. And if you know anything about the Niners past over at MetLife, like they lost Nick Bosa first game of the season one year. They lost I want to say Mostert 1 year. They lost him early on too in that game.
Yeah.
So they tried to improve the field conditions and it made it spongy and it was just unsatisfactory. So first day, you got these leaks about how the Niners were pissed at how the field conditions were. And there's some sort of measurement that they can, quantify how good a field is. And it was like in the low 40s when it's supposed to be in like the 70s to be like.
I think that's crazy that the Chiefs were granted access when the San Francisco's the number one seed.
It's because the AFC is the home team.
Yeah, AFC West.
Because they're in the AFC stadium.
I see.
That should be included like in a pre-coin toss. I don't think that should be up to
uniforms.
I mean, I get it.
And speaking of coin tosses, so here's kind of a fun little graphic here on if the team wins the coin toss, do they win the Super Bowl? And history says no. It looks like it's only happened twice in the last 10 years. So happened last year. We'll see what happens.
Then you got.
I wonder if that would go deeper. Sorry to interrupt. I wonder if that would go deeper if you were to whoever wins the coin toss and then whether you decide to defer or not. I wonder if that has like a secondary I don't know. That'd be anyhow. That'd be a cool one to look into.
That could be true. I don't know how many of these teams that won the toss got opted for the ball first. I would say most of them probably deferred.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. I would say that I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I would say that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's probably a better indicator, Chef, is they won the toss, but what do they do with the toss? With their selection. That's more of an indicator. That's good. I like that.
Yeah. My luck though, they all win the coin toss. Like everyone that's ever won the coin toss, they always defer. I feel like that's like the no-brainer. Like, nah, we're good. We're gonna kick it off.
So, some Niner fans are speculating that if they win the toss, they should receive because they've had slow starts these 2 playoff games. And I'm like, well, they've won these last 2 playoff games, so let's just.
Steelers, the Steelers started doing that this year because that lately they just have not been scoring to start the game.
Yeah.
So the second half of the season, they've been receiving so that they can start off strong.
Yeah. Try to gain that rhythm offensively right off the gate,
which is very smart, especially for the Niners if they can get on that rhythm quick.
Yeah.
But you also got that game. I mean, the Packer game, dude. The Packers came through. They scored on their first drive. When I was over at my mom's house, the atmosphere was fucking absolute mayhem. Okay, mayhem. And I'm just like, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Like they're gonna come back, and I'm just like, fucking, please come back. Please come back. And they came back, dude. So I don't know. Maybe they do need, instead of coming out, running out of the starting gates, maybe they do need to get a little bite in the ass or two to kick everyone up. And
you can't do that with the Chiefs.
Okay,
yeah, you see, that's what we're talking about. You can't try to do stuff that you're not used to doing.
It's different with teams. It was different because the Packers, that Packers team, and the Lions have no playoff experience, so it was a little bit different. They are also just uncomfortable being there. Period. You can't do that with the Chiefs. If you give the Chiefs room, they're going to keep it because they're smart. Andy Reid is smart. Patrick Mahomes has been here 4 times. He's smart.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's fair. I see that now. I see that.
It's funny how everyone looks at the different angles of curses and who's winning. We had here's the coin toss, and then here's the Super Bowl logo colors, and everyone just likes to play into the whole script idea. Am I right?
My favorite quote that I've heard about stuff like this is I'm not superstitious, but I might be a little stitious. That's the best. I think that's shout out to what was that, Michael Scott?
Yes, it's Michael.
I was like, that sums me up perfectly because I do kind of believe in jinxes a little bit. I do kind of believe in certain things here or there, but I'm like, it's not like I'm not gonna not step on cracks when I walk outside, on the sidewalk. Right, it is what it is.
Not gonna shake no pepper over your shoulder or walk through some ladders. But I think at the end of the day, I think for me at least, I think it's fun to look, and I think most of you would agree. I like to look into this type of stuff. We like to look into this type of stuff. But when it comes to the Super Bowl, I mean, at the end of the day, me personally, I want to see a fucking dogfight.
Yeah.
I want to see a good game. I want to be entertained. This is entertainment at its finest.
Yeah.
And so
it's
give us some down the wire shit. Give it down the wire, man.
Let's go.
Hey, the last 2 Super Bowls were really good. So
there's only 3 blowouts on here. Yeah, there's only 3 blowouts.
Tampa Bay being
Broncos, Seahawks.
Yeah,
Broncos, Seahawks was a blowout. Broncos, Panthers was a blowout.
And Patriots, Rams was not really a blowout, but it was just fucking boring. It was 10-3.
It was boring.
16 points total.
Yeah.
Hey, I have to say real quick. So right after that Super Bowl, when I worked at the winery that I worked at, Jared Goff ended up coming in with his family.
Oh, damn.
And we had a pool, and we had a little cafe outside serving cafe food, and then we had a full-blown restaurant inside the house. Well, Jared Goff and his family were poolside, so they were ordering food. Well, at the time, I was kind of floating, or I was like a floating manager. So I was just kind of floating around. And long story short, I went into the little small cafe, into the kitchen. And the first thing that I heard, everyone was laughing because he ordered something that came with French fries. And the cooks were joking around, knowing they would get fired if they did this. But they were going to lay only 3 French fries on the plate. Yeah.
Just a little reminder that they only
obviously people value their jobs and that never happened. But I actually walked Jared Goff and his wife and his family, or no, his wife and his mom down. And this dude is so fucking tall.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a very tall dude, but when you see him on television, they're all so big. It's like watching people from the NBA. They all look kind of normal, but then normal height, but then when you're actually seeing them in person, you're like, holy shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, yeah, that's a fun little fact.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun way to troll someone, right? I wonder how he would react to that.
Here's 3 fries.
Here's 3 fries, motherfucker.
It's like that Kobe shit with the 81 olives in that commercial.
Yeah.
With Jalen
You want
Rose.
olives?
Yeah.
How many olives do you want? 81. Just stares at him right in the face.
Just straight.
81.
He said, really? No, not just.
Just 2.
Jalen Rose just like,
No, he
what
gets
the
it.
fuck?
Super serious.
He gets it. Yeah, man. Well, we're going to go ahead and give the next segment off to Francis, our pick specialist. With our, he's got a few picks for you guys to follow. So if you guys want more and in on the picks, he doesn't just do football. He does everything, baby. Go get on our Patreon so you can subscribe and get access to Francis's picks.
All right, I'm gonna start off these picks. 2 picks that are gonna be straight bets. I'm gonna do more props this Super Bowl because I want to have more fun with it. I've learned to not bet against Patrick Mahomes, especially after last year's Super Bowl. So I'm just gonna let it ride and just play some prop picks. So the first one is Kansas City over 1.5 field goals, and also San Francisco to score over 1.5 field goals. I feel like both defenses are solid enough that they're gonna force them to kick at least 2 field goals. So that's a safe bet for me. I think that's gonna hit. I forget the odds on that. I believe San Francisco is like minus 120, and Kansas City is like minus 150. So safe bets. I think
Constitutes a half field goal.
What was that?
What constitutes a half field goal?
It's nothing. The book doesn't want to break even
Push.
if they only do 1 field goal, because that's a push. So that's why they have to put that point half, the 1.5. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fuckery. It's a bunch
The more
of
you
fuckery.
know.
Yeah, the more you know. But yeah, let's go down to my prop parlay that I have on the ticker down here. So
Hell
I'll start
yeah.
off. Chris Jones, 1 sack. Nick Bosa, 1 sack. Christian McCaffrey over 16.5 carries.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
I got Kelsey anytime touchdown. I got Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I got Pacheco anytime touchdown. I got Rashee Rice under 6.5 catches. I don't think Rashee Rice is gonna do that well.
Please.
But then to my next pick, I got Kelsey over 6.5 catches. I think
That's gonna happen.
he's a star. He's gonna go for a lot of catches. Debo's line was so low, over 4.5 catches. I gotta take that, but he's gonna get at least 5 catches, and that gets you plus 8,900 odds.
Damn.
So if you put $100, that will win you $8,900.
So this is a prop parlay.
This is a
Yes.
prop parlay, yeah. So all these props have to hit. Yep. I'm not picking. My heart wants San Francisco to win, but I am not putting my money on that because even in the books, I mean, the books are 50-50, so this is a complete coin toss. This is kind of the sign for me to stay away from that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the prop parlay. I'm pretty much betting that this is going to be a great game for everyone, with the exception of Rashee Rice. I want to see a lot of action. So yeah, man, that's pretty much my picks, and thank y'all for tuning in this season. We had our peaks and our valleys, but that's gambling. So let's get this. Let's hope y'all ride with me on the Super Bowl.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
So before we move on to our Super Bowl picks, let's go ahead and go to our favorite section, which is called the quick hitters. We have our final tally count, and Naro is going to run us through that. I mean, Kyle had some just fun pick with us last time, but you know, it was all for fun. But I know Naro has the final tally, so let's get into that real quick, and then we can hit some Super Bowl picks and our Taylor Swift rant.
All right, guys. If you guys haven't been here the whole time, you guys pretty much know how this works. It's pretty much anybody on the show, and if you haven't made it in that episode, if you had the time to put in your picks, you'd qualify for your picks that week. We started on week 3, so we were a couple of weeks behind, and a couple of people didn't have full-time picks in here. Unfortunately, I had full-time picks, and I still lost. So as an overall score, not counting whoever wins the Super Bowl, we actually tallied it up. To start the playoffs, Jermaine had 7 wins. I had 6 wins to start the playoffs. We had Zach. Playoffs. We had Zach at 3 and Francis at 3. They were tied to start the playoffs, okay?
Okay.
This is how the playoffs went. Zach didn't miss a damn thing.
That's right.
Zach didn't miss a damn thing.
What fucking time machine were you using? A brazen head?
Ah,
Hey.
really. So we finished out at the end. It finished out with Jermaine at 11, I had 10, and Zach squeezed it out and pulled in with 12 because
Yeah.
No.
Playoff wins counted as 2. So
Let's go.
Zach snuck up there. As an overall on average, myself and Jermaine were the top guys, but Zach definitely had some clutch wins at the end, man. Good for you. Solid, sir. So Zach Zach won last week. So Zach had 2 last week. Myself and Proper had 1.
God, what a story, huh? What a way to end this season.
God damn it. Zach always just,
What a way.
But with that being said,
I gotta buy a round.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you do.
Francis buying the first round, but don't worry. I got the second round.
There you go. There you go.
I got a round when I get out there. How about that?
Yeah.
When I get out there, I got a couple rounds.
Nice.
Yeah, when you fly out, we definitely link up. But there you guys have it. Does supposed to score fucking Zach squeezing a win. Like as if the Niners aren't gonna win, he has to win the fucking quick hitters too. God damn it!
Hey, but we're playing Super Bowl, right? Like Super Bowl counts.
Yeah. How do you guys want to do that? Let's discuss this. You want to do 2 points? Do you want to do 3 points? You want to do 4 points? You want to do just straight 0? What's up?
5.
What East?
5.
Chance, you guys got this.
Let's make it 12. Just Francis has a shot to win.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's give Francis a bone here.
All right. You know what? 15. Make it 15.
15 points.
15 points for the Super Bowl.
So winner take all.
Patty Mahomes right there.
Yeah.
Hey, make it 13 points.
Oh.
Francis, you're dirty. Dirty.
You gotta shake it off, baby.
Want to do what? P5? What's up? Winner take all?
Let's just pick. How many points, guys? Let's decide right now.
Hey, I'm down for winner take all. Shit.
I mean, now that I'm in the lead, I don't know about all that.
I think 3 points should work because the people who are involved in action are you, myself, or both of you 2 and myself, right?
And you're 2 behind me, Nara?
I'm 2 behind you.
Yeah.
We get 2 points for each game for the playoffs, 3 for the Super Bowl, and that would at least give me a shot if I have a different pick from you guys.
So do I have to pick first?
Yes, you have to pick first.
You're always first.
Oh, man.
But I'm not
Best
going
team in the league, baby. 49ers.
hey, just pick the Chiefs, Zach. Just pick the Chiefs. So you don't jinx it.
Oh, boy. Boy. This is a very
that hat
intense struggle
around,
I'm having.
and then
I'm starting to sweat a little bit, guys. I gotta say. This is, which way do I go here? You know what? I'm picking Niners.
Let's go.
Bang,
I'm picking Niners.
bang, Niner gang. Well, just for
Jermaine,
the
where you
sake of
going?
joining in.
Oh, okay. Me? I'm going 49ers. Why? Because Denver Broncos heritage and that shit. So let's go. And I'm tired of the fucking Chiefs.
I'm going
That's
to go
what
with the
the
Niners.
program said.
I'm going to the Niners as well.
All our scores are going to stay the same.
No, Naro's picking Chiefs. He has to pick Chiefs. Either he's going to be wrong or he's going to win. That's where I was thinking.
Where are you going, man? What do you want?
Hey, I'm going Switzerland, man. I know this is like the second time that I've been on this sports series, but who do I want to win? I want the Niners to win. But as far as your guys' vote on points and whatnot, Switzerland.
All right. Here's how I'm making my vote. Okay.
Yep.
I'm making my vote on who I actually think will win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I really think that Kansas City is going to win, and I only think that because I think that there's a hand in the pot somewhere.
Let's go, Naro.
So I really truly believe that Kansas City is going to win this Super Bowl. So my pick is Kansas City.
All right. A little Mel Kiper over here. Okay.
Who I really want to win and who I think deserves to win is the Niners. But I think that Kansas City has their hand in the pot somewhere. I think it's good for business that Kansas City wins. Just like it's good for business that Taylor Swift is there. You're going to make more money if Taylor Swift wins. If Taylor Swift's team wins. My pick
Can I ask you guys something?
I hate Kansas City, but my pick is Kansas City.
Do you guys think for business and NFL purposes that it is a lot more advantageous for the Chiefs to win or lose? Because, before you answer that, I think that if the Chiefs lose, I honestly don't think that relationship is a facade. I think she will still be there, and I think there will be more desire for her to come back next year and keep following along with Travis and the Chiefs, and she'll still be around more and more. If they win, then damn, she already got to the mountaintop. Cool, I'm gonna go do more tours. I'm gonna do this. I won't be around as much. So blah,
you know
blah,
why?
blah, blah.
You know why I disagree? Because if the Chiefs lose, she's got a new song to make.
Well, yeah, probably.
So the way I see this is that if the Chiefs lose, yes, Zach, you make a really good point. But I think they're trying to make the Chiefs the new Patriots. And
they are already the new Patriots, to be honest.
I know, yeah, well, this will seal it. I know that the Patriots had lost a bunch, but the fact that Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than any organization proves that Patrick Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. I think it makes more sense for Mahomes to win this one, get a two-peat. I'm coining that, by the way. Get a two-peat and lose next year in the Super Bowl.
Makes my head hurt. All right, so here's a couple of things that I didn't want to bring up, but I have to bring it up because we're talking.
Okay.
Chiefs won the Super Bowl against the Niners. Went to the Super Bowl the next year, lost to the Bucks, and then lost in the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
Now they won the Super Bowl. I think the cycle's repeating itself. Won the Super Bowl last year. Now they're back in the Super Bowl, and the cycle could go again where they lose, and then next year they don't make the Super Bowl. Now, obviously that's part of my stitchiousness.
That's a little stitches. That's a little stitches.
That's a little.
Yeah, little stitches. I'm a little stitches.
But
hey, that should
you
be
brought
your
up
new rap
something.
name, Little Stitches.
Little stitches. Oh, damn. Little stitches. Put them on stitches. Hey, Naro, you mentioned something really important though. Tom Brady has more rings than any franchise in football, right? There are 3 teams that have or 2 teams that have 6 and 1 has 5.
No, there's 2 who have 5.
2 have 5, 2 have 6. One of those teams is in the Super Bowl this year.
Yep.
Which can put him at 6. And then that means Brady has what? 7?
Brady has 7. The Steelers and Patriots have 6.
13
would be 6.
So the Niners got to win to get to 6, and then they can get to 7 next year, and then 8, and they beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, but the Steelers can
dude.
They're also we know the Patriots can do it.
There's no story with the Steelers though. With the Niners, you have Mr. Irrelevant. Like, how awesome would that story be? Mr. Irrelevant gets a ring.
Right.
That's pretty.
It's not as fun as Taylor Swift, obviously, but I mean,
I think they want to keep
pretty good.
What I think is
pretty good.
It makes more sense for them to focus on a player rather than team. I think that they're focusing on Patrick Mahomes right now. rather than focusing on the Chiefs and Central, because God forbid Patrick Mahomes is the same shit that no one thought Brady was going to do 10 years down the line and does a switch up and wins. It's possible. He's got that. He's already almost at that level. There are so many people who are already putting Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT level, bro. They're already talking about him at some point being able to compete with Tom Brady as the GOAT.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that they found their new player to push, because before Brady, it was Montana. For Montana, it was, there was always somebody who had that helm.
Yeah, before Brady, Favre, Aikman,
Get that?
Montana.
Right.
I just want to bring. I like how Pat Mahomes, when they were like, "Hey, can you do your best Kermit the Frog impression?"
Oh yeah, I'm talking.
I'm going to talk right now. That's it.
That's how I'm doing. Yeah.
He just sank into it. I love it. He just sank into it. It was great. He was like, that was
funny stuff. But hey, speaking of all these conspiracies, maybe Kyle can start a segment for us called Sunday Night Football Secret Society Podcast.
Yeah.
You know what? Hey, I'm flattered, but I will say that between everyone in this room already went over and covered. Yeah, dude, you guys slayed it with that, man. You slayed it with that.
You said you didn't want to get involved with conspiracies. Yeah, you've not seen these episodes. Have every week we've talked about at least one conspiracy.
Yeah.
I love it. I honestly like everything I got going on over on my side, super busy. So I haven't I don't have a chance to listen to as many shows as I would like to. But the 2 times that I have been on, and it's been fucking awesome. But when I originally came into this, especially tonight, I'm like, oh man, because I've been listening to all day, different podcasts and conspiracy theories regarding the Super Bowl. And I was like, I don't want, because you guys, the thing is that you guys slay it, dude. This is a fucking dope show. And I am super excited and stoked and blessed to be able to be a part of this show. And I'm looking forward to next year to where I can be more present, get started in Hell Week, I guess you could say. But no, man, you guys killed it, man. There's a lot of crazy things going on. There's a lot of crazy conspiracies, odd, coincidences, if you will. But I go back to what I'm saying, or what I was saying, that I want to see a badass Super Bowl game. I want to see a dogfight. I'm hoping it's not a 13 or 15-3.
Oh yeah.
Like we've seen in the past. And I will touch on this though, is what I noticed last year during the Super Bowl, during the commercials, there was a U2 commercial, and they were featuring the Dome in Vegas. And I believe this was either right after or right before there was the UFOs or the aliens that fell out of the sky in Vegas. But if you, and this is a challenge for the listeners and for anyone else that's not familiar with this, but if you go back and if you YouTube last year's Super Bowl, U2, the Sphere, and if you just watch it and start pausing through random scenes, there's a scene where a gal's in the room, and if you pause it and you look at the pictures on the wall and read them, there's some wild shit. So, and then again, after that, whether you call it Project Bluebeam or we're being invaded by aliens, there's a mothership in the sky, however you want to look at it, I feel like it's kind of foretelling. Oh, there we go.
See, our producer's got it, man.
Let's, dude, straight.
I don't
beast,
remember
dude.
this commercial.
Yeah. This is perfect. This is it.
Did I get
this
neuralized?
was last year's Super Bowl.
This is it, yeah.
I remember that commercial, but I don't remember.
You guys don't?
I didn't realize what it was. I remember it, but I didn't realize what it was.
It's wild, man, and that's what I'm most excited about. Is, to be quite honest with you, is the commercials, because and you can look at that. Yeah, well, you can look at it a couple different ways. You're either participating in this gigantic, satanic ritual that's harvesting everyone's energy, right? I tend to not go that far, to be honest with you. I'm not that. I'm not on that level.
That's pretty intense, dude.
It is very intense. But
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the Grammys, and you got to look at it in this point of view too. Like
Superb owl.
Superb.
oh my god. Okay.
I love that.
Touche.
Oh, that's
But
good.
when you look at like the most watched events in the entire United States, or I don't know if it goes past that throughout the world, but the Super Bowl is number one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the last time I checked, I think it was last week, I want to say it was like $7 million for a 30-second ad.
Damn.
So if you think the powers that be are not going to take advantage of that 30 seconds that they just dropped $7 million on, which $7 million is obviously, it's not that much money for these big dogs. But if you don't think that there's some type of message that they're putting out to you, like, I'm not going to judge and be like, y'all are fucking retarded. I'm not going to do that. But I'm just saying, like, open up, because there's some crazy shit. You had the Grammys, right? You had that one gal at the Grammys. There we go.
Good morning. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop. Taylor Swift is not a psyop.
I'm about to go crazy right now. I'm about to throw my computer out the fucking window.
Hey, coincidence, or I don't know, maybe.
That's the COVID commercial or something. Naro, you're right. But they did the same shit with the whole fucking pandemic. But they've done the same shit with all the other big psyops.
Dreezy, put that slide up.
Done it.
What slide?
I have a slide speaking on this kind of this is my contributions to the conspiracy.
Oh yeah,
I think we have
I love it. We're getting in there.
Little Stitch is going off.
He's becoming superstitious.
You get a little bit bigger stitches, huh?
That one.
You're like medium stitches now.
Look at this one. Chiefs Niners Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson MVP confirmed tonight. Ravens won the North. Texans won the South. Same amount of wins. Chiefs won the West. Chargers were last. Washington was last. Same amount of losses. Panthers won the South. Niners won the West. Cardinals were last place in the NFC West. Chiefs are the home team. Niners are the 1 seed. Billie Eilish won Song of the Year. Preseason odds the same. Niners beat the Packers in the playoffs. All the hockey shit, basketball shit. College football playoff. Michigan was a 1 seed. Undefeated teams were in the playoffs. Played against each other, I think.
Damn, that's crazy.
We're in a fucking loop, everyone.
Blowout. So, that being said, the only difference is Niners win. We're
Let's
good.
go.
We're breaking out of the cycle, boys. Come on, that's why we're going for the 49ers.
You break out of this cycle.
It's up to
Get us
Brock
out of
Purdy
there.
to defeat
Come on, Brock.
the fucking higher up.
Defeat.
They have this planned.
Brock used Onyx.
The irrelevant beat. the irrelevant. Let's go.
If the Niners win, though, Zach, then you know Brock Purdy might die in a car accident or something.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Come on, dude. Oh my god.
I don't know, man, because he's breaking the cycle. He's gonna be like, he might be getting scripted. He's like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go off. I'm Mr. Irrelevant, and then they whack him.
They whack him. He's really Mr. Irrelevant now because no one remember.
You wasn't irrelevant this time.
No. What's going to end up happening is that Kelsey's going to propose to Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is going to snub his ass, and then you give it like 6 or 7 months, and then her and Brock Purdy are going to start a family.
Yo.
I don't know. That's just me talking shit, dude. That's
and then Brock Purdy's got the Kelsey fade.
I'm telling you guys right now.
Everything.
I'm telling you right now. Taylor and Travis is a legitimate love story. It's a relationship. It's a long-term thing.
Yeah. And if you guys want to hear more about that, you can join the cave and listen to the new segment called Feel the Burns Connections.
Yeah.
He's no longer Little Stitch's guy. He's
burning love.
Feel the burn in love. There you
Feel
go.
the burn in love.
A little dating segment.
110 million people are supposed to watch this show, and for the first time ever, you got some companies that are female targeted that are buying ad space.
So you could expect to see us. You could expect to see a crazy Stanley commercial for the Stanley Cups.
I'm trying to find the exact companies, but yeah,
Stanley.
Duck Plump lip gloss for L'Oreal.
What the
first time the brand's ever advertised in the Super Bowl before.
Pfizer's gonna be one for sure.
Pfizer Cosmetics. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Really?
I saw this today, and hey,
good for like,
back in my neck.
More money. Listen, I get it. It brings more. I get it, man. But listen,
go off, Naro.
I fucking hate Taylor Swift.
This is like his like Bernie Mac moment from Don't Be a Menace.
It's funny, like how everyone hates Taylor Swift, like she did something personal to us. We're just fucking sick of her shit, and everyone fucking. I hate Taylor Swift.
Crazy part,
he's grown up with her.
It's not even Taylor Swift at this point. I mean, she's a little annoying for like breakup shit that she always does, but it's not even Taylor Swift at this point. It's just more of the media forcing us to fucking eat that shit.
Yeah,
40 seconds, guys.
No, I get
40
it.
seconds. That's not forcing.
Oh man.
How many other people had the same amount of time as she did?
40 seconds in the game. That's in between a play, dude.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad we were able to touch on some conspiracy stuff. Give Kyle a little segment to where he can get it. But you know, we're about that time where we could. This is our longest football episode, and it's right because it's our last one for the season. But before we start wrapping it up, I know we wanted to talk about some Taylor Swift stuff that Naro wanted to keep for later. So, Naro, go ahead, go off on it. Let's hear it before we wrap this up for the.
Oh man, because I'm just gonna beat I can't stand her. Listen, okay, so
this is a rant.
Here's my thing, right? Here's my thing. They're obviously this is obviously is a money grab. Okay, she's got the same amount of money. She's got the same amount of followers that the NFL has. That's how many people are obsessed with her, right? She is, I personally believe, I'm sure you guys have seen it, we're a conspiracy comedy podcast. So I'm sure Taylor Swift's got some stuff going on somewhere. I believe that, okay? I believe that the way that this has been brought up, look at Kelsey's past relationships, the 5 to 10, I think it was like 8 past relationships. Not a single one was a white bread girl with blonde hair who sings country songs. They were all had some delicious chocolate with a little bit of something on it. Right? This is polar opposite. Okay, this is polar opposite. Okay.
Kelsey's white chocolate, man.
It's not close to Kelsey's type. Okay?
He invented a fade.
Kelsey is backed by Pfizer. Okay. Taylor Swift is the most popular person in the freaking world and the NFL. You have 3 of the biggest things in the world coming together. You're going to sit here and tell me that Kelsey's not going to have a Pfizer commercial during the Super Bowl? I'll wait.
That's a prop bet I'm willing to take, Naro. I'm going to take that prop bet. Francis, I'll holler at you after the show.
Look.
Oh yeah,
listen,
man. I got to take a book if they got that one.
Zach, if this isn't a fake relationship, it motherfucker started off as one. I'll tell you that as right now. It definitely started off as a fake relationship.
That's what made me think that it wasn't a fake relationship, was because of how supposedly it started and how like they were talking last season, but it wasn't publicized. And then she's supposedly, and I'm going to stand on this, she's supposedly an Eagles fan, and she ghosted him during that time because they were playing each other. That's real shit, dude.
Taylor Burns standing on business.
Hey, standing on business. My son taught me that. Shout out, Dom.
Love that, bro. Listen, I don't think that it's good for the NFL in the way that it's just a money grab.
There's a lot of fans that are getting involved now that should not be involved with the NFL. Now, I understand, Zach, what you were talking about earlier. There's a lot of people who are getting involved now that it's good because there's exposure. It's good for the NFL. A lot of these people are actually learning the NFL. They're learning the game. They're learning football. And it draws a future towards the NFL. That's awesome. Okay? That's really good. But that's like a handful of people. You know how many people have been ridiculous over the amount of crap that it's just her. It's just her and Kelsey. They don't know anything else. I don't know this. When's Taylor coming on? Like that. That's the part. That's the stuff that irritates me, man. Like it's not. It has nothing to do. This is a huge celebrity that they're forcing down the throats of football fans. Football fans. Not some of them might not necessarily hate Taylor Swift, but why this isn't about football anymore. It's not about football anymore. This should be about football. This is about a celebrity relationship that they're forcing into the league. This is not about football. They didn't do it with Sierra and Russ. They talked about it.
It's because they're black.
But
oh man. Oh,
it's entertainment. It's entertainment.
They didn't do it with Romo and Jessica Simpson. They talked about it, but they didn't force it down our throats.
Because they're white.
Jessica Simpson and Tony Romo was massive. People forget how big that was. That dominated everything.
They didn't force it down our throats.
Chicken of the sea.
Yes, they did.
No,
they did.
It was the same game plan. Yes, they did, dude. Because he was the quarterback of the Cowboys. Because she's the most followed person on earth.
That's my
Jessica
point.
Simpson?
That's not her fault. That's not Travis's fault either. Dude,
they're all paid followers. All paid by Soros.
Hey, I just recently found a bunch of bots following me on Twitter. I'm fucking mad. So I get it. So some of those are bots.
She's famous in Pakistan. Like my cousin with his 5 million followers, and they're all from Pakistan. I was like, oh, really?
All his likes are coming in at 2 in the morning.
Nance and Roma are calling this game. Guarantee you Roma's going to be having a ball with not only the football shit, but the pop culture stuff that he does. I'm excited to hear the commentary.
I'll tell you what, I couldn't stand Romo while he was in the league, but I think he's a great commentator, and he's funny, man.
Dude, he's a great commentator.
Yeah.
He's hella funny. Look at that. That right there.
You know why? That's not.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, that's influence, baby.
Damn.
White
juice.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, dude. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit here and bash love when I really believe it's real. Sorry. It's love, dude.
Okay.
I love love. I want people to love each other.
We're going to have a segment on the cave now, like Mad TV's lowered expectations.
If this is real, this is like Grease, where it's like the ghetto white boy and the preppy white girl.
Hey.
Romeo and Juliet.
Are we calling him ghetto because he's got the fade because he invented it?
How that ended.
Ghetto white boy?
We're going to ride off in a flying car, baby.
No. Well, man. Well, I had a lot of fun with you guys today. I'm glad we had a long episode tonight.
That was fun.
I think this was very well needed, so we're just going to go ahead and wrap this up, guys. Oh, there we go. Drake.
Drake the Snake.
Big Snake Moan.
Drake the Snake Roberts. Hey, real talk, fellas.
He wasn't lying when he said this long dick N-word ain't for the long talking now. Peace.
Oh my God. Hey, I appreciate you guys, and I'm super pumped, obviously, for Sunday. Niners are in another Super Bowl. They haven't closed the deal on the last ones. I think this is the best team that they've had in a Super Bowl, and I hope Shanahan can get the monkey off his back. He's done it the last 2 weeks.
Let's go, Shanny.
I hope this is another one where we can get over the hill with Shanahan. Mr. Relevant carries us. And, we take a little hit to that Chiefs dynasty and prevent it from getting out of control here. So,
yes,
but
sir.
Appreciate you guys. Love this
Appreciate
shit.
you guys. But before we go, I just want to say that's a wrap, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to our final football installment for the season. And if you guys want to continue the discussion or stay connected with us, please visit our Patreon so you can subscribe and get access to our exclusive Discord, only available to our Patreon subscribers. So you can get there on patreon.com/K4V3. And you can connect with the sports crew. We talk about everything. We kind of gave you a little hint of everything. We got some conspiracies for you from Kyle. And we kind of dove in there. And Taylor Swift, yeah, she is a conspiracy herself, right? And another special shout out to our sponsor at SafeLightCandle.com. Please visit them for all your LED lighting needs at all affordable prices. Can't beat them. And so after that, I guess we're just going to have to see what else sports segments we got for you guys. Stay tuned. I am your host, Proper, along with Legit Naro, Francis, Chef, and Feel the Burn, signing off for the season. We'll see you guys next season. Stay tuned. We got other stuff coming for you. This isn't the end.
Bang, bang,
so now it's time for So Long. But we'll sing just one more song.
No bad blood.